So I'm sure you've heard all the hype about Amazon and how it's huge and how you should get started, and maybe that's got you interested. Um, or maybe you already started, but you're not getting the results that you want. Well, today I'm going to change all that because I'm going to show you this ridiculously simple formula that you can use to make your first $5,000 selling on Amazon, and that's per month actually. And this is the same formula that I used to generate over 23,000 in less than 3 months. If you haven't yet, watch my other video that I show um, like inside my account, and you can see like all the sales and all that stuff, so you know like I'm not bullshitting you. Oh, and by the way, for those who don't know me, I'm Tim, and I document my journey of creating 30 streams of passive income before turning 30 on my blog, 30streams.com. A lot of people looking to make passive income seem to get a lot of value from it, especially since I disclose like my monthly income and show stuff, not only stuff that works, but also stuff that doesn't work, so it can save you all the hustle of like making the same mistakes that I did. Anyway, let's jump into this. Let me show you how we can make your money. So our goal here again is to generate $5,000 per month, and that's in profit. Um, and how we're going to do this is we'll come up with a plan, which is what I'll share with you today, and then we'll invest in capital, and then we'll research products, source a good supplier, and then start selling on Amazon. If you haven't yet, you'll create an account, and maybe there'll be another tutorial. So the product criteria that we'll follow is we need to get a product that has existing demand. It's not oversaturated, meaning not so many sellers are selling it. Between $25 to $70 price point as retail value. And then it has at least 40% margins, so at least we can make some money. And then a good rule of thumb, and this is something I saw and I read online, and it's proven to be true as I continue selling. You want to make sure that the cost of your product is a third of the price you're going to retail it for. And also, last but not least, it needs to be lightweight. That way, you you make sure that it doesn't like cost you a whole bunch of money to like ship it. So let's assume that I did my research and I landed this product, which is it's a cool like uh, lens like coffee mug, and this meets it meets all the criteria that we outlined there. So it's currently retailing at 25. It's lightweight. It's not oversaturated, and all those good things are just listed. And so with that in mind, we want to make sure that our total cost, we make it a target of $15, which will give us 40% margins. And so for that, with the other rule to of a third of the retail price, we want to make sure that it doesn't exceed $8.30. So we need to look for a supplier that's gonna sell this to us for $8.30. And then the rest of the breakdown, so the balance is about I think $6.70 to make 15. About 8 to 18% is normally Amazon fees. Some are higher, some are lower, depending on the category you're selling. So for this example, I'm just going to assume the highest, which is 18, and that's going to bring that to about $4.58. And we'll have a balance of about $12.12, which I'm going to leave out for promotions and miscellaneous in case we want to push this product, each unit and stuff like that. We can do it comfortably without worrying, and if anything comes up, then we can use the balance to cover that cost. So it's a little bit of a cushion there. And so if we end up not using this, then it's a good thing because we can add that to our profit margins, and that's not bad. And so here's the formula. So for us to hit our $5,000 profit mark, which is essentially 40% margin, we need to sell about 12,500 every month. And this comes down to about 25 units. At $25 per unit, it comes to about 500 units every month, which is 500 units comes to about 17 units per day. So 500 units will, at 25 will generate us about $12,750, which is $250 over a goal, or about 2%, which we can use to account for more returns, if any, because there are going to be some, and then miscellaneous cost. Again, this is another padding on top of the $2.12 that we just put over. It's always good to have some sort of padding, because there's always unexpected costs that come up down the road. Okay, so with that formula then, with that in mind, we know we need 500 units at 830. It means that we need to come up with about 4,050. Well, I understand that you might not have that money, and that's fine. And I actually don't recommend you to, to like right off the bat, like invest over $4,000 in like a new business is not proven. I don't think that's smart. So what I would actually advise you is to go the alternate route and take about a fourth of that. So invest about $1,000, which I think is a good sizable amount, and it means you're serious about the business. So you're not gonna play around, because you know $1,000 is on the line. And this should get you about 120 units at our $8.30 per unit. Well, this might change because of the low units that you'll be ordering, but just make sure you negotiate with your supplier to give you the best price possible. Remember, I mean, 830 is our target, is our ideal price, but if we can get it lower, why not? As long as the quality is good, and make sure the quality is good. So for now, we're going to go with this plan with $1,000 down, which is going to get us around 120 units. And so this is what the timeline is going to look like. Today is October the 15th. So let's assume that you see this and you're like, okay, I have $1,000. I want to do this. It's about time I pull the trigger. So let's say about a week, you start looking for a product, and in a week's time or less, you find a product, and October 23rd, you end up ordering. So you end up paying the manufacturer $1,000. And then your products are delivered a week later, which is November 1st. So you have 120 units. And with our goal of selling 17 units per day, we should be able to go through all our units in about 7 days, give or take. It doesn't really matter, since this will be your first time, or maybe not your first time for those who already started. It might take you a bit, longer for whatever reason. That's okay, because Amazon is not going to pay us anyway until 2 weeks later, which is the 14th. As of right now, that's how they're doing it. So when we go through, so we have about 2 weeks to sell our products, not because we want to, but because we can, and we don't really have any more money to invest. I'm just assuming that. And so on November 14th, after we sell out, we should have sold about $3,000 in sales, and that's gonna give us about $1,200 in profits, including our initial investment of $1,000. So now we'll have positive of $2,200. The reason why I have this negative here is because we're going to turn around as soon as we get this money. As soon as this money hits our bank account, you're going to turn around and go and reorder stock. And so on November 14th, you're going to reorder stock, and assuming that it's going to take about another week for the stock to get to you, you order about $265. That's what that's going to get you at the $8.30 price point. And so November 1st, we should have replenished our inventory, have about 265 units. Now we're going to sell this. This should take about 16 days to sell. If we're a little more aggressive, if things go well, we might be able to sell it in a shorter time. But assuming that's the case, then we'll sell through our units, doing a target of 17 units per day. And by December 7th, we should have sold out. And by then, we'll have sold about, my math is correct, about 6,625 in sales. And then minus fees, you should have about $4,850 being deposited into your account by December 7th. And that's not bad. It's not entirely profit, and we'll go through the math in a little bit here. This is not entirely profit, but I mean, this is cash you have in your bank account. And if you look, on November 1st or October 23rd, you started with 1,000, and now all of a sudden you have close to 5 grand. We're not quite there yet because our goal is to make $5,000 in profits, not in like money that we have to like subtract cost of goods sold. Anyway, so during this period, so from October 23rd to December 7th, you would have sold 385 units, which is 120 plus 265, doing sales of about close to 10,000, and your total profit will be about 3850. And this is this profit here plus this profit here. Now let's look at the numbers of actually like how much you have. This is just hypothetical because obviously we don't have this money, but that's what we did during this period, if that makes sense. So let's do some math. So during this period, we did sales of about 66.25, and then Amazon fees, which is about 26.8%. This is Amazon fees plus any cost that might have come up. I put that at 26% of the sales. This comes to about a little over 1,700, and then so the balance we'll have is about 4850, which is what I showed you earlier. And then when you round it off, the cost of goods sold, so this is the amount we use to replenish the second round of inventory, to 2,200, and comes about 33.2%. And these two numbers make up 60% of the sales. And then we have our margins of 40%. So net profit, which is a little over 2,600. So for someone who started with 1,000 and now all of a sudden you have 2,600 pure profit, I'd say that's pretty good. And so let's see what we can do, because yes, this is profit, but we have this money cash in the bank. So what can we do with this money? We have about close to 5,000. You know, if you added up about 150, you can have 5,000. So let's go back to our initial plan, which seemed a little impossible. Now it looks easy because all of a sudden we have 4,800 that we could use to invest to 500 units and hit our 5,000 per month goal. So you pretty much take this, so you take the 4,800, subtract the 4,150, and you'll be left with about 700. Now, this will be a good time for you to go celebrate, or pay that rent, or pay that credit card, or even get some more stock, or even come up with a new income stream. I'll look for another income stream. Maybe buy a website on Flippa or something and flip it. I don't know. You can do whatever you want with this money, or even build more inventory, like buy more stuff. I don't know. This is up to you, but this is a good place to be because now you officially started, you started executing the plan to generate $5,000 per month in profits. It's a good thing. So what should you do? I believe like if you get good information, I'm sure if you've been looking into this, you've read a ton of stuff, but if you don't take action, then it's all for nothing. You're just wasting your time. So what I'd like for you to do is, if you haven't yet, I want you to create an Amazon account today. Like right now, after you watch this video. Matter of fact, pause this video right now and go create an Amazon account. It's really, really easy. If you don't know how to, go to my blog and just do a search in the blog post, and you should be able to see a post that shows you how to create an Amazon account. Step 2, find a product with the criteria that I just showed you. And again, if you don't know how to go about finding a product, I have tons of information on this. Again, YouTube has information on this, other people. But I'd really, really advise you to find one source and go with that source, because that'll prevent you from having information overload. And you don't want that. You want to get overwhelmed. Find a good source and go with it. Most people have found my information on my blog helpful, so I have a feeling you might find it helpful too. And then find a supplier. And again, I show you how to do this on my blog. And then start making money. Order and start making money. And then step 5 is just rinse and repeat that process over and over and keep growing your Amazon business and expand it to other things. I'm telling you, this is huge. I don't know how to stress it enough. You should be able to do pretty well and hit your $5,000 mark in profits in no time. And I mean, if you have any questions, just ask. and I'll be happy to answer any question. Oh, I forgot, if you're interested, you can download the original PowerPoint slides for this video by checking out the link in the video description down below. I hope you found this helpful, and I hope that this is gonna get you fired up and willing to take that action. Again, if you haven't opened your Amazon account yet, go ahead and do it right now, for real. Again, my website is 30streams.com, and you should come check me out. All right, take care.